in Brentwood. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We all needed a laugh.
Amen.
Amen.
Good thing I looked because you moved my chair.
Now that would have been fun.
Now I can get my chair in here.
Ready? Jump.
I'm
You
in.
good?
I'm good.
All right.
Jesus. Okay.
We don't have any checks.
Who do you have first on payroll? Is it?
George Abel.
Thank you. Tell me when you're ready.
Oh,
George Abel, $3,261.91. Eleanor Cherry is $1,824.24. Andrea Bickham, $606.09. Caden Ahern is $501.09. Mark Brightman is $668.23. Gloria Bendia Becerra is $444.53. Gabriel Burgess Labonte is $39.14. Adnar Chalnar is $133.30. We have Karen Clement is $1,065.17. Jeffrey Collins is $748.85. Katie Coppola is $18.67. Eli Corson is $40.89. Alyssa Sanuski is $184.59. We have Michael Dame is $729.32. Edwin Decatur is $542.47. Jocelyn Dennehy is $204.95. Kiki Donis Walls $197.16. Robert Gagnon is $637.54. Jason Grant is $563.22. Andrew Gray is $454.28. Mary Lyons Hall is $106.67. John Isabel is $124.57. Kip Kaiser $777.92. Joyce Kegel is $513.26. Kevin Nealand is $1,927.44. Julie Labonte is $1,081.50. Stephanie Lazat Croto is $145.91. Heather Lindsay is $611.87. Colin Marquis is $27.70. Abigail Minor is $306.65. Sydney Minor is $180.24. Aaron Mitchell is $147.56. Rachel Mowbray is $112.21. Jeremy Potter is $414.87. Brian Rains is $290.44. Wayne Robinson is $921.73. Christopher Spitaleri is $173.29. Sophia Streck is $122.60. Charlotte Sullivan is $155.54. Katrina Tennant is $535.57. Josh Turner is $571.94. Olivia Wall is $111.07. Daniel Wicks is $1,415.99. Janice Weirs is $769.87. Jeremy Worcester is $475.96. Daphne Wass is $686.80.
For a total of $26,497.16.
that's a Bob.
Sweet. I was needing it.
Oh,
Doing the checks, I was like, I need something to
oh.
get my fingers on it.
You only mixed them up a little bit.
I know, I watched. You notice that? I didn't try though, I mean,
He didn't cough on it
it
for you.
just happened. Joe Bird was out of sync.
You want me to read
Yeah.
it? You want to read? Okay. Tell me when. Ready?
Okay.
So you need one.
You good? Matthew Bergeron, $692.48. Keith Culligan is $733.89. Charles Fitzgerald III is $40.80. Erica Kenyon is $72.83. William is $18.00. Timothy Lindeman is $237.85. Kristen Pash is $481.80.
For a total of $2,777.86.
For a combined total of $29,275.04. PD had 33.25 hours of overtime. Fire department had 1.5 hours of overtime. And highway had 4 hours of overtime. And the town clerk would like to commend the police department for a job well done on civil forfeitures.
Everybody paid their dog fines?
All the notices were delivered, whether they've been paid yet, I don't know.
They had over 300 of them, they were supposed to have them all done.
Oh, what's,
They're hiding. John, you gotta watch that side of the table.
Go.
Crystal Rock, $20.86.
What?
Sear
Wait a
polygraphs.
minute, wait a minute.
wait a minute.
Is there one on the bottom of that?
No, those are the 2 ACH payments for the school.
No, more checks.
Where,
Oh.
what is it?
Checks over here. There we go.
Payments. Don't work back.
Adams Industries Corp. You
Yep.
have that one? $6,008.20. $8,050. Others is a whole negotiation. Crystal Rock is $20.86. Sear Polygraph Services is $600. E&J Auto Parts is $15.99. Eversource is $99.25. Health Trust Inc. is $18,675.61. Health Trust Inc. is $7.69. Joyce Kegel is $97.19. Lawson Products is $100. Equipment $126. James is $2,000. Heather Worski is $1,054.72. New Hampshire Retirement Systems, $22,579.12. New Hampshire State of New Hampshire Treasurer is $50.
Wait a minute. I can't find the state of New Hampshire.
Oh, that's the one, right there. That's, it's an application for,
This one?
Caden to go get his solid
Okay,
waste.
I see it, okay.
$50?
$50.
$50.
Thank you.
Pinard Waste Management, or Waste Systems is $648.50. Quill Corporation is $201.23. Richie McFarland's Children's, $3,300. Nicole Sawyer is $1,000. Sig Sauer is $1,422. UniFirst Corporation is $102.24. Valak is $246.45. Verizon is $94.02. Daphne Wass is $25.49.
How long do you think before the people causes us a flooding?
And I did stop by the highway department. Caden and Jeff are all set to be on call for if we have any trees come down during this storm.
The total was $66,484.79.
We had a direct deposit as well to the co-op for $874,326, and a direct deposit to Swayze of $205,000. So grand total this week, we spent $1.145 million,
Oh, is that all?
$810.79.
Good week.
Hmm.
Expensive.
Easy in, easy out.
Easy, yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Wasn't that easy for the taxpayers?
Somehow they keep paying, which is kind of amazing every year.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it, how people pay?
I'm sure it'll stop eventually.
No rec trips. Did you pass those things around? Not yet.
Oh, it's just mail.
Right here.
I'm sorry, I lost my agenda.
I think his agenda might be in,
Oh.
There was scheduled stuff, huh?
We were supposed to go
It's
to
right
pink
there.
paper.
no, that's mine.
Um,
Ken lost his.
All right, I
Oh,
will
Ken.
try to
Oh.
He had all
remember
the
that.
bills.
Order me some pink paper.
I'll just set that.
Or a leash that we can attach it to Ken.
Put it on our name, yeah.
I think that's it.
That's it?
Oh, it looks familiar.
We can put it on a stone tablet.
Thanks. That's awesome.
We still got $5 million. I mean, we're in good shape.
Even with that 1 million payout, we're still good. Yeah, not much longer, but the The co-op drops down next month to a shade under 700, so it won't be quite as painful, but then it carries that way through the rest of their fiscal year.
I hope not. But
And Swayze is 205 twice a month, so we go through it fairly quickly.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure.
See you next month.
Doing a good job, John, thank you.
Next one.
You'll see me before.
Yeah, because he's off for 2 weeks, and then we see Joyce in 2 weeks, right?
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know.
He said you'll see him before.
So maybe she's
He
on
must
vacation.
be, he must be.
I'm ready, they're not.
Roy Solomon, 210 Pickpocket Road, generator. Ray Dussault, 42 Lyford Lane, electrical permit for a generator. Bob and Chris Magnuson, 1 Wendell Drive, for a sunroom. Kim Leo, 23 LaBruce Street, for an electrical permit for an in-ground pool. 3 Ponds LLC, 19 3 Ponds Drive, plumbing for a new dwelling. 51 Lake Road for John Morgan, this is for a new dwelling. Pierce Jackson, 31 Washington Drive, electrical permit for a finished basement. And when you're through that, I have a proposed permit for Jeffrey Bryan, 61 Lyford Lane, that will require further discussion.
He's been taking down all these trees.
I know, the neighbors told me. They were upset, he was cutting it really early in the morning.
Well, that's because he's up at
You know,
like.
I'm
I said, well, he's up at 3:30, what do you want?
With 6 selectors.
No, that's okay. You'd be the trash picker up.
Well, he had a big house, so I guess he has to put a big house.
Who's this?
John Morgan.
Yeah, he sold his.
No, sign everything, it's like in and out was done. Is he living in a hotel now?
We can talk about that if you want later on. I had to talk to Kip about that.
So this is what Jeff is proposing. He wants to build a 50 by 80 garage in this area here. This is his building envelope, so it'll be just outside that setback. So he would like permission to do that. I don't know that you can grant that
In a
without having to go to
residential,
the
50
ZBA.
by,
That's a big,
I would say if it's, what does Kip say?
Kip hasn't seen it because Jeff came in after Kip was left. Kip was out on inspections.
I
So
would
he
say if
hasn't
it's
seen it yet.
outside of the setback, it's gotta go to the ZBA,
I
but,
think so.
Does it infringe on the setback?
yes.
Yes, because it's outside of the building envelope, so it infringes on the wetlands buffer.
That looks wonderful, I can't see.
That's it?
thank you, Rob.
It looks about 10 feet into the
No, it's
buffer.
much better. Holy mackerel.
Jeff's hair's super long. He hasn't cut it since December.
since when?
Since December.
He thinks he's in California now, huh?
There's been a lot of logging on Lyford Lane this past week. And even the theft or two.
I heard.
50 by,
So this is going to the planning board?
Zoning.
Would have to
No,
go to
well,
the
first
zoning
it's gotta go
board.
to,
The
Yeah.
ZBA? Oh, okay.
and then Kip will tell us.
I almost
I
wish
should
I
have
had
Kip
his house on
investigate
here so I
further.
could see
Yes.
what the size is.
And he could measure out.
that's all right,
the
when it comes back, I'll.
Okay.
Oh.
Setback.
What the hell is he gonna put in a 50 by, how,
He wants to fill it with toys.
60 by 80,
He should have kept his old house.
yeah.
They got a huge barn that they could do a
Well,
car
there was
show.
an issue there. I don't know
I
whether
know,
it
yeah.
was
yeah, I think there
remember
was
that.
too.
a 5 or 6 year issue
Yeah.
with a lady.
Okay.
Just a hiccup.
Andy Gray submitted a memo on behalf of the Recreation Commission for permission to expend $12,426.83 out of recreation impact fees for a keyless door system. So the
How much?
A what?
12,426.83. So that's the,
Key fob door system, so that,
that's,
Oh.
yeah. That's the cost of hardware, locks, equipment. That is the average cost per door and includes labor and installation. So
How
this,
many fobs do we get with that?
well, this was, it's not, doesn't require that. So it has remote access and you can add or remove people. So I think it's, like a code. So he'll have an app on his phone and he can put in, and grant people certain permissions. So if there's a party over the weekend, he could say that, so Phyllis is renting it on Saturday at 12 o'clock, so he can say you can come in on Saturday from 12, your rental's until 4, so you have to be out by 4. After 4, you can't get back in the building.
well, you can't get back into the building until
Right.
12.
Right, so he can limit access, so, and then he can limit people coming in and out, so like Boy Scouts, for instance, that have a key that's issued, he would be able to say that they could only use the building between scheduled times and make sure that they're only entering the building
Does
during
this
those.
include the door replacement? Because those doors need to be replaced.
Right, so he would add and have these installed at the same time that the doors are being, but the cost is additional. So they'll pay for that out of impact fees, and then he wants to pay for the, maintenance fees out of his revolving fund with his rental money, is what his proposal is.
I can tell you they need to be done. I was over there and the basement door was open on a Saturday morning, and he said it's probably from the camps from Friday, which means that they were unlocked. That building was unlocked, so, and the doors, I know the basement door, it was just completely rusted out. And I met the sergeant over there, and we were actually checking out a dropped-off building that's over on the power lines where we had issues before. And they were just unlocked, and it was over.
$5,000 is a lot, you spend for a lot.
It is a lot, but if he's doing it off an app, my concern is we don't have internet over there. So
Well,
how's it
that's-
communicating?
That's something that he's looking at, I think he did install Wi-Fi,
Did he?
yeah,
Okay.
he did set that up
Was that
a
recently?
couple, maybe last month he finished the install.
When I was there, I couldn't find it, but
The password?
I didn't find any internet when I was there hanging out
No,
waiting
he
for
gave
the
me the
police to
network
get
and the password, so there's Wi-Fi there now, so we don't have to worry about it for
Okay.
elections or anything anymore.
there. Okay.
Depends on how far outside the building you were, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was down in the basement out on the
So
outside.
it might just have been outside wherever the.
Now, is that on
router
his
is.
private phone, or does he have a phone from the town? Does he have a,
He doesn't have an issued phone from the town. So we could issue him one from the town to put this on, but then that would be an added
Expense.
maintenance cost for the town. I think it's a good, you need
Besides
to,
him, who else would have access?
so
Would
he
you
would,
have access?
the way that he's proposing it is that him and I would have, regular access to add or remove, users as we needed it. He could issue, if there's a power failure and the keyless system doesn't work, you can use a key, so we'll have a couple of those. So he'll have one in his lockbox, I would keep one in my lockbox so that we could get in if PD could have one.
And I had talked to Andy about getting a key for the police department because and I talked to Karen about
Yeah.
this. Their response when they get there and they find out the door is unlocked, they've been calling Wayne. You know, Wayne comes down and he locks it, but and they
yeah,
said
they should have, the police
they said they
department should
find it
have
pretty
one.
regularly, especially with the camp, that the doors are just not
I
getting
think it's
locked.
the Boy Scouts, honestly, I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
should
it's the
have
camp.
a key then.
And I was like, you can't keep calling Wayne, so maybe it makes
Wayne
sense.
probably should still have a key. He probably had a key from the PD days.
And he
Right.
still has it,
And I think there's a lot of those sort of loose keys
that are out and
that
about.
are out and about.
Now, with doing this, it would totally rekey the whole building too, right?
Mhm.
Which
So
we're
anybody-
probably due, I mean,
Right.
Wayne hasn't been in the PD for, what's that?
2.5, 3 years. I'll make a motion that we honor his request.
Second.
Any further discussion?
It's all out of impact fees?
Yes, which he does have like $45,000 in impact fees.
There was a amount that we had to use.
Yeah, I know there's a.
So he'll need to be spending more, because I think there's about 20 that needs to be spent.
Well then,
Okay.
Yeah.
So will somebody else have contact what if he's not around and,
Karen,
I will.
okay.
Yeah.
so I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Steve Cummings submitted an invoice for $1,265 for his engineering work over for Rowell Road. So I'd like authorization to pay that out of the capital reserve fund for bridge repair.
Yes, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain?
Did the planning board rehire him, or are they still,
No, nobody's been hired.
oh, okay.
We should make a decision the second week in August.
Oh,
Like the
okay,
second meeting,
okay.
I think.
Chief Archeri is requesting to expend $1,200 to convert the K-9 cruiser back to a regular cruiser. So to remove the cage, the electronics, transfer prisoner partitions, one front and one rear, and transfer rear seat. The cost is $1,200 from Adamson's.
What are we doing with the cage and all that? We're gonna just store that somewhere?
We can sell it or donate it or
What about the kennel? We still have to get that back to
still
you.
take that back.
So, I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Karen, we're spending a lot of money.
I know. It's worth it though.
Okay,
Two on this page and then one on the next page. Well, everyone else on the next page, but this is a 3-year contract for Sam Matos for a full-time police officer. I think she should not use such expensive paper.
You can sign below me and then everybody else is on the next page.
Man, that wind is really whipping.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I took my gazebo down today
It used
just
to
in
be a
case.
hurricane. It used to be a hurricane. Now it's just a tropical. Pretty soon it'll be.
This is appointment slips for Christopher Spitaleri and Sam Matos for the police department for 1 year. So the chief would like you to sign them tonight. We will do a formality swearing in of them tomorrow and then do the official ceremony in 2 weeks at your next meeting.
Motion.
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained?
No, I'm, yes, yes.
In favor?
She said yes twice. Does she get to vote twice?
Well, yeah, because
There's
there's two
two
people.
forms.
Two people.
Okay.
And the part-time academy I heard was canceled.
Oh, really?
Yes, they didn't get enough applicants, so,
They didn't get enough applicants for the academy?
for the part-time academy.
Oh. So they're just gonna do field training?
I think she's still determining what she wants to, how she wants to move forward in that direction.
You can do field training, right, in the academy, and then when it opens up, they can go.
Yeah, but if they don't come to cert, I mean, it's not gonna help her with
Look, we
coverage
keep-
right now.
The word's out that we don't have much police coverage here. I think you need to get people out as quick as possible.
I think we have enough coverage, we just don't have plethora of staff. So
Yeah.
the coverage is restricted to the amount of people.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean we didn't have coverage. You correct me.
This
No.
is a timber warrant, $204.30.
Say that again?
Timber warrant for 28 Lad Road for the
I'll make a
sum of
motion.
$204.30.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Bill, that's right around the
Abstain.
corner from you. You can go steal firewood.
I know, I was thinking that. Just the hardwood.
Yeah, well, the ash, I guess, is the best.
Has the planning board had anything on the timber that we did? They had that lot, 125 towards Burger King, the whole thing's cleared in the back, it's all level. I didn't know if there was a building going
Oh,
on.
yeah, there,
Oh, what's he
the
doing?
farmer purchased that property. He's gonna
Put
put
the
a,
farm store in there.
yeah, that's right, a farm store. He's gonna have a large freezer for animals that he slaughters. And he's
So the
gonna have,
Martin Road Farm
Backs into his.
backs into that and they bought it.
Okay,
So now they have access to 125.
okay. I knew he did the timber harvest. that's all.
eventually, the front brush will be cut down.
I thought they were gonna keep the trees. I
Well, no, it's not visible right now from the road, so they're gonna do something to make it appealing.
So you can see it.
So you can see it.
Yeah, otherwise you're just kinda, I was like, somebody putting a drive-in movie theater in there, that'd be awesome.
Perfect spot.
It is, cause you got the trees.
Now, there's like
Oh, I
80
know,
acres.
I watch it as I go by too, wondering what's
He'll parse.
going there.
He won't, well, it'll be a
Well,
parking
no,
lot.
he has a farm there now.
Yeah, but there'll be a parking lot, the building.
A big building,
the
yep.
Storage area.
I thought that would be perfect for a drive-in movie theater. That's all I was like.
We used to have one on Collie Falls Road, down,
Is there?
down behind
Isn't where,
Sharon lives, down there, behind that trailer.
I thought it was at, where Pantalina just built.
No, it's on, it was behind the trailer that, where the guy had the bulls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where the old guy was.
Bull guy,
Poor guy.
as opposed to the damn lady?
Yes.
I was,
Around the corner.
That is an intent to cut for 305 Middle Road.
motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
I know they had,
You only need 3 of us.
O'Neill's had the, drive-in movie theater that they were doing this past weekend, they did a drive-in movie theater. $35 a car.
That's all?
I thought that was kinda steep.
That seems like a lot.
Wasn't it? Oh,
But you can put a lot of your friends in.
Cost you 100 if you had
Yeah,
to
but
pay
you
a
can't
ticket
see if
to
you're in
go.
the back seat. The only ones that are really gonna be seen is the front
Well, they probably
seat.
got out and sat on
Put the
top
kids
of
in
the
the front,
car.
take a
Don't you
nap.
remember when you went to the drive-in?
The young lovers in the backseat, isn't that what you always do?
And I guess they give you, you can tune your radio into the
I never watched the
station.
movie when I went to the drive-in, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like-
This is-
TMI?
this is a-
The vision going through my head with him and Liz is just
Ah!
hurting me.
What'd you say? It wasn't
It
Liz?
wasn't Liz, it was a long time.
Maybe you shouldn't say that on
Really
camera.
old person.
He was 12 at the time. He drove his own car with a 6-pack of beer.
It's a field septic waiver for Lindy's.
I'll make a motion.
That was recommended.
Do I have a second?
I wish you'd repeat that, I didn't hear.
Yeah, what,
Lin-
It's a,
Everybody should've got an email the other day that Lindy's septic failed,
Oh, right.
so this is a permit.
got an email
to-
for what?
Second.
Lindy's
septic.
septic failed, so this is a
That was
permit
last
to
week, wasn't it?
redo.
Last
It's
week?
down.
Last week,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Um, So I have a motion, do I have a second?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor of me signing the failed septic permit?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
There was some issue about
It's under the driveway.
close to, close to the river
We
and.
can pass that to Bob.
The health officer?
The health officer?
Oh, get your big dollar for a year.
I never take it.
You should start taking it, ask for it as a silver dollar.
Silver dollar?
Yeah, they only cost $12.
Or ask for a Morgan silver dollar.
I'm
You
just,
should-
I'm just killing the
Those are
budget already.
$34.
Either that or ask for coffee.
Yeah.
I bought a Morgan this morning for $41.50.
41.
He paid $1, he paid $41.50 for $1.
Yes,
That's a good investment.
me and the Littleton Coin Company
Yeah.
are in partnership, only they're screwing me daily.
I was to say they're not so little.
the firewall at the town office failed last Monday.
Say that again?
The firewall. So we came in, there was no internet, we couldn't get to the server. Jason from Block 5 just showed up, fixed it. We didn't even have to call them.
Wow.
He just
They just get a
appeared.
notice, is that what happened?
He got an alert at home that that we had an outage, and so because he lives in town, he just showed up and said, I got this alert. He says PD is up and running, so he's like, it's not an internet problem, I'm gonna go take a look. So he went downstairs, he noticed that the firewall was failed, he called the Block 5 back in Londonderry, got us a loaner set up. Mike Ebbett came down, installed it, hooked it up, we're back up in 3 hours.
Good investment.
So we will include, that'll be in the budget for next year to replace the firewall, so we can have this loaner for as long as we need it, but we'll have to replace it. And they would recommend doing a server project. So where the PD and the town hall has separate servers, they would recommend connecting them and using them and creating a virtual network, so that each server would act as a mirror to the other one. So if PD server fails, it would have a mirror backup on the town hall server, and that would get them back up and running very quickly, and vice versa.
And there'd be no problem with confidentiality?
Right, because it's a completely separate network, but virtually he could spin that up and make the downtime less.
Would that be covered under the grant, maybe?
I don't,
We need more internet because we have more people that were working from
It's
home.
not internet, though, it's
Yeah.
a backup
Connection,
server.
connectivity though with a firewall.
Well, we can be creative and
this
try.
is server, we could try, I don't,
All you
it's
can do is say no.
I
so,
mean, they were paying for laptops and stuff too, so
Right, but that's something to use, this is,
we'd only spent $30,000 out of 105, that's why I'm thinking, if
So-
we have that money, we might as well ask. You don't ask, you
the
don't get.
one-time cost to set it up and to purchase the additional hardware that we'll need to do it, and the labor is, $7,513
Oh, yeah.
for hours. The one for the fire department would be $7,943.
So you're talking 16,000?
Yeah,
I think if you made it connectivity, that you could do a virtual network that can be accessed outside of the building, would be covered under Gopher, because that's the idea of being able to work remotely. So if somehow this project could be tied in with that,
okay.
And of course, the FEMA interaction for the Seabrook alerts for the fire department,
right,
somehow bring that in.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is we had 105,000, I don't think we spent even 30 yet. So we still have 75 grand in that grant that's still sitting there. If we can somehow merge this into that.
I
would be
bet
perfect.
with PPE and everything else, we spent more than 30 grand.
Last time it was like 27 and then we spent a few more.
Well, we bought the spray, the
I
nozzles.
think so.
Yeah,
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 it's about $2,000.
yeah, so that wasn't much. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking about 30 grand is what we're at right now. And that's with all the extra pay and everything else, so.
Well, the extra
the
pay
pay is
was a
separate.
different,
How was it separate?
That was
Yeah.
a separate,
So if we have 70,000 sitting there, I'd love to take the 16,000
We
off
don't know
that.
how long this is gonna last either, but yeah, you're right, we probably should try.
Right now, we're approved through October 15th, so
Okay.
I will connect with Block 5 and see if we can tie this back to COVID, and then you'd be good with moving forward with this project?
Yeah.
Do you wanna?
Do we need a motion? I'll make a motion.
That's a lot of money.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
You wanna make a note that Bob's spending money, please?
I'm spending grant money that we already have.
Grant money or
But it's
money
money.
that's,
He has this thing about money.
I know, but he's spending money that's there. We're not raising
I got
taxes
this
with it.
fly that's attacking me.
Well,
I got this
eventually the money's gonna raise taxes somewhere.
Right, right.
state, federal.
The property owner of 214 North Road has paid off the 2018 tax lien in full.
All right.
214 North Road.
Yes, they wanted that on the record. There's some paperwork for 427 Middle Road that needs to be signed, 2 copies.
Which we
Is it
talked
something
about.
that you can tell us about?
Something we decided last week,
Yeah, I was here.
yeah.
Do you
We're
not wanna do
going
this in
forward
non-public,
with-
or?
Oh, we can.
We were going forward.
We should
with-
do that in non-public?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did everybody read the COVID illness policy?
Yes, I did,
Very interesting.
It is very interesting.
yeah.
So do
I
you
lied.
want to move forward with that?
Yes.
Implementing that?
You want a motion?
The only thing I would add was, since we have the cleaners, that we use them in the workspace. Those cleaners that we bought with the disinfectant for the ambulances and the
The
cruisers.
Oh,
gun,
yes.
the gun things, I think we got an extra one, didn't we? for
Yeah,
here?
that one
yeah,
for the
and for
town,
yeah,
the
for the
rec
rec,
to
yeah.
use.
So that should just be in the policy that the building that they're in get
All right,
disinfected.
my motion will include Andy's amendment.
Second.
Very good.
And I get to prove I actually read it.
Motion and second, sir.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So 2 weeks ago at the last meeting, we were supposed to connect with Jay Summers of Comcast.
Yep,
Is he ready to connect today?
Well, so he says, well, I called the wrong number, and I said, well, that's the number in your email signature, so perhaps you should have updated that. But he's willing to, so it's their standard senior discount is $2 off. It doesn't matter what package you elect, so it could be a $79 package, it could be a $30 package, it could be whatever package you want. It doesn't need to be a traditional package, so he would recommend that any elderly person that is looking to change their services, they'll customize a package to make them work for them and then apply the discount. That's their standard discount. They're not budging on offering more money. They're offering flexibility on how you can utilize it.
Now, what about the 10 years? Can we change that?
You can change that to 5 years, if that's what you would like to do. We'd have to we would just have to rewrite this term. It wouldn't change anything else. The one thing is, we have a 10-year contract drawn up. What it has in here is that after we pass our first anniversary, we are allowed to renegotiate our franchise agreement fee. So that percentage, it's at 3%. You can elect up to 5%. So after that first year, you can elect to increase that as you want. Of course, that cost does trickle back down to
Yes.
the subscribers. And after that first year's lapse, you can
I just think
add
10
that
years
channel
is
if
too
that's what you
long.
wanna do.
Say that again?
I think 10 years is too long.
I
Right.
would agree.
Right.
I'm kind of in favor of that too. I think 10 years is way too long.
Well,
In the scheme of what's going on in the tech world, so to speak, so many things change in the.
Comcast could be out of business in 10
It could
years.
be, yeah.
Right, but if you do a 5 year, so once you get to the point of, so if we sign a 5-year contract, after 2 years, they have to notify you. So within the 3 years of the contract expiring, they have to sort of start this process again. That says, hey, your contract's coming due, we plan to, so they have to notify us of their intent to renew, so that the town has an opportunity to find another vendor. You're not locked in with Comcast, it's not an exclusive agreement. You could, if MetroCast or somebody else wanted to build infrastructure in town, you could have another contract with
I'm
another
gonna
provider.
put this out there right now, for everyone that's listening. I'm all for competition. If MetroCast wants to come in here, by all means, come see
They're more
us.
expensive than Comcast. That's what I have at home.
Competition is a good thing sometimes.
And I think $2 is an insult to people.
I think $2 is ridiculous, and for them to sit there and say, this is all we have, that's cute, because when you call up and you tell them you wanna cancel, and they tell you, well, there's no other package, fine, you cancel. You cancel, and then it's amazing, within 3 days they call you, and all of a sudden their deals are amazing, what they have to offer you. But that's my 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
But we also talked
Or
about the
$2.
contract length
For
back in
$2.
December when we started this process. Like, we had a public hearing, we had Jay Summers here, we talked about 5 or 10 years. So that's the direction that the board had decided in December.
The problem is if we can't change, we're just spending legal fees if we don't, we're stuck.
Mhm.
So we might as well sign a 10-year contract, because what are we gonna do in 5 years? We're gonna sign another 5-year contract and pay legal fees.
We didn't pay legal fees.
Why do you
Yes,
pay
we do.
legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to sign a contract.
Well, we have,
So legal has to review it.
right, because they changed, just in case the FCC rules
Rules and
change. And then you gotta send it to Primex, they do a legal review of the indemnity.
Now, I can see if we're gonna actually sit here and say we're not gonna renew the contract, we're gonna put it out for bid.
Yeah,
We don't-
But if-
There's nobody else to bid to.
But if we're not gonna do that, then
Yeah.
it doesn't make any difference whether we have a 5-year contract or a 10-year contract, besides the fact that every time we renew it, we gotta pay more money.
What happens if we cancel a contract?
what happens if we don't
3
do a
years in, we
contract?
decide, hey, there are 2 other vendors that we can now talk to. It's hypothetical.
And what happens if you do put it out to bid?
Yeah, what happens if we don't renew the contract?
I mean, you'd have to be able to provide those services to the residents in some capacity, and nobody else has infrastructure in town that would be able to do
I
that.
think if we don't renew the contract, they could give us whatever they wanted for
A price.
fees,
Yeah.
and then still provide a service.
Well, there's no lock in there on fees, right?
Yes, there's a lock-in percentage on
They pay
what
us-
they pay for fees to us,
They pay us 3%.
Yeah.
To us.
to us.
Yeah, yeah.
So they could, if we don't sign a contract, they don't have to pay us fees.
Right.
Just 50 grand a year, about.
That amounts to about 35,000 a year.
It's almost 50.
Oh, it's gone up that much? Oh.
Well, when the average home pays $200, $300 a
How about $316?
Oh, my God.
And you guys are out of control.
You just have a lot of
I
movie
got them down to
channels.
like 120.
Every movie channel there is.
120, perfect.
What, you and I do the same thing.
Yeah, and we sit there and we go,
Okay, I've
really?
got enough of this. Yeah.
I'm done with you. You're dead
Are
to
we
me.
ready now? 10 years, ready to go?
I'll make a motion, we accept the 10-year contract.
Do I have a second?
Give me a second.
Are you you a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed?
oppose.
I oppose.
Motion carries.
3-2.
And I'll put it out there, I'm not a fan of Comcast.
No, listen, I tried to call them
I'm not a
yesterday.
fan of Comcast either.
20
but
minutes
I-
later, they said
I
goodbye.
honestly get
Yeah.
screwed.
Never
The
took no
problem is 90% of Brentwood, the only place to get high-speed internet is Comcast.
Yep.
Or my little MiFi that I have to use all the time.
You won't need that anymore for elections.
No, is
And I
that
don't have to go
provided
to
by
Verizon
company?
store anymore for elections.
I don't
which is
even have
awesome.
Comcast, so.
You're smart.
Yes.
I wish I didn't have to have it.
Yeah, just the
Oh,
two.
you wanna have Ken sign here?
As the clerk.
The
Yeah.
clerk?
Well, I have Comcast
Well,
on
we
my
should,
internet.
When you want, which
And
one
my
do you want to be the
phone,
clerk?
but I don't have it
listen.
on
Yeah,
TV.
we stream our TV.
$1,800 in interest was
all the cables
earned
stuff.
from the Prescott Road bond. That money was restricted through the auditors, until that project was closed. So that
Okay.
is officially closed, and I just need a vote to unrestrict that amount so that it can go back to the general fund.
Make
Make
a
a motion, second.
Motion and second, any
We should do that
discussion?
fast.
All in favor?
Aye.
I like getting money back.
Anybody opposed?
Carol?
She wants it for the
Don't ask
dam.
me, I don't have a vote.
She wants it for the dam.
I nominate you as the sixth.
And job description, so we'll be doing, annual performance reviews before we start budget season, and then with that, I'd like to update job descriptions and have each employee sign a job description that they read, they understand their duties, and then have that on file
Makes sense to
in
me.
their
Yep.
personnel files.
Yep.
Agreed.
So that is our next
Now,
housekeeping.
do they sign, the employee handbook every year? Or do you make sure they get a new sign off every year?
I haven't, but that'll be a new thing that we'll start doing, so we'll do an update, we'll sort of update job descriptions, do the handbooks, and then do performance evaluations all together to make sure that everybody's current.
Acknowledging that they've read it, understood it, and
And
agree
that
to
they're
abide
aware
by
that
it.
some things may have changed, and that their job description actually says what they're actually doing, as each job tends to change. That is it, I need to go into non-public.
Well, no, we didn't
You
make a
need
motion
to-
to accept the minutes.
I make a motion for the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then
Abstain?
Motion for non-public?
make a
Second.
motion for non-public.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Phyllis made it,
Phil's made it,
Oh, I thought I did it, okay.
Ken
Ken seconded it.
Yep.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain, anybody opposed? Before we go into non-public, reevaluate posting, job posting.
Oh,
Yes, so if a resignation comes in shortly after a meeting, especially during summer schedule, it may delay my ability to post the position and start filling it for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when your next meeting is. So if the position is in kind, there's no changes, I'd like the authority to post the position. It doesn't cost anything it doesn't cost anything, it's just my time.
Right.
And then there's no decisions that could be made to hire until you have your next meeting to review the candidates.
I make a motion for that.
Second.
as long as it gets posted on the town website, that's,
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Well, in order for it to not
Thank you.
cost any money, it would have to go on the town website.
Right, and
Thank you.
NHMA.
Anything else costs money.
Make a motion for non-public in accordance with
The
chapter
hiring.
91A 311 A, B, C, D, E, and I.
Well, we're going for hiring and we're going for legal matters, which we're gonna talk about.
Right.
Hiram, okay.
We will not be back, so
Good
shut
night.
everything down.
I'm gonna get the key.
Look at your desk and like, "Oh, is there a key?"